You just finished a meeting and you aren't sure how it went. You're replaying every word and wondering if you said the right thing. Did your colleagues misunderstand? Did you remember every detail the client needed? Is everyone clear on what the next steps are? You head back to your desk to tackle that long list of emails and reports, but you can't stop thinking about the meeting. And you keep worrying if it went well or if you missed something. You can't focus on the work in front of you, but you have to push through and get it done. By the end of the day, you're emotionally and mentally drained. What on earth happened? Hey, this is Suzanne, and you're listening to the Daily 15. In today's episode, we're talking about an unconscious mental habit that keeps your brain overloaded and unclear. Negative thinking and overthinking. We'll also discuss a simple shift to stop all the negativity in its tracks. If it feels impossible to think clearly and you feel like your brain never shuts off, or that it's actually just spiraling, this episode is for you. So take a deep breath and let's begin. Your brain was built to constantly scan for danger, and it's really good at finding it. The amygdala, the part of your brain that is considered your brain's alarm bell, spends 2/3 of its energy tracking your environment and experiences for danger. Now listen, this is super helpful if you're trekking through the jungle, but not so much in your office cubicle. Because it's so good at looking for danger, our brains tend to live in a negative thought pattern. And those negative thoughts and feelings get stored much more quickly than the positive ones. There's just something about those negative thoughts that are sticky. So when you say something and get an unexpected or negative reaction, your brain defaults to the mental spiral and overthinking. This process burns precious brain energy and creates ongoing stress in your brain and in your body. Your nervous system is on high alert all the time. And your brain never rests, even when you finally go to sleep. In a recent study, 50% of women demonstrate a negative thought pattern and are considered chronic overthinkers. Ruminating over our words and actions leaves us on edge and often leads to higher anxiety. You can't think clearly because negativity is causing emotional exhaustion, and it consumes the capacity that you have to focus. So when you're feeling foggy and mentally drained, your brain's not broken, it's overwhelmed. The pattern of overthinking could look like replaying a situation or a conversation that didn't go well. But sometimes it's that feeling of being behind or like you're failing. It's catastrophizing and only imagining worst-case scenarios. And all this negativity leaves you being self-critical. It's a vicious negativity cycle. And today we're going to begin to break the cycle, to clear out the mental overload and get clarity. Now, all this talk can make it feel a bit abstract. So let's take a look at a real-life situation where we sometimes get stuck in that negative thought spiral and how to use what I call the awareness interruption technique to work through it. So you get a call from your manager. There's a meeting about a new project, and they want you to be in the meeting because they want your input on how to execute it. The meeting's at 2 p.m., and that's in an hour. Of course, you confirm that you'll be there as soon as you hang up. You're flattered that they want your input, but you're wondering if you have any answers. And then the questions start. What is really needed for this project? Do I know how to solve it? Will they really be open to my input? Can I be ready in less than an hour? These are all real and valid questions. But instead of getting to work on sketching out some thoughts and ideas, your brain keeps on creating new questions to think about. And those questions often lead to doubt. Am I even qualified for this job? What if they don't like my ideas? Will I come across as mean or demanding? Before you know it, you've lost 20 minutes and you barely feel like you can show up for this meeting, let alone have any good ideas to share. But then you remember what you've just learned about overthinking and negative thought patterns. You have awareness of the negative spiral beginning. The simple pause allows your brain to slow for a minute and regain some focus. And you've interrupted the cycle. You acknowledge that some of your thoughts may be true, but you need to prepare for this meeting. Now you can actually focus on the problem at hand and spend the next few minutes drafting some ideas to share. You head off to the meeting feeling prepared and in control of your thoughts. You're able to focus and present your ideas with clarity. You know these are just drafts, and there will be plenty of time to refine and rework them later. The negative thinking spiral is powerful, and it's hard to break free from. So the first step is simply being aware when your overthinking kicks in. And having this awareness is key to beginning to change this sneaky mental habit. It's like a magic trick. Have you ever watched a magic show and wondered how the guy made the coin appear from behind somebody's ear? And then that same coin somehow vanishes from sight? It's a sleight of hand and a little misdirection. Now, until you see behind the scenes with the magician and he shows you exactly how he did it, you're not sure how he did it. But once you know, you can't believe that you missed it. It's right there in front of you. And that's exactly how we start to address overthinking. Now you know what's happening, and that makes it easier for you to spot it. It's simply awareness of the problem. This isn't about more guilt or shame. You're not bad for having negative thoughts and overthinking. After all, it is the way our brains were designed. And it was designed that way to keep us alive. But now we don't live in a world where we have to hunt for our food or worry about being chased and eaten by a bear. So we have to work to retrain our brain to be aware and notice these negative patterns. Now you may be thinking, okay, I'm aware. So what now? When you spot the negative spiral beginning, you want to interrupt it. That's what we're talking about today, this awareness and interruption tool. So when you're looking for these negative patterns and this overthinking, you're able to spot it earlier and you interrupt the cycle. Now, this isn't about stopping it forever. I don't think that that's possible. It's simply stopping it in the moment and saying to yourself, hey, that's enough. It's kind of like when we got caught grabbing that extra cookie out of the cupboard and your mom would yell, hey, that's enough. No more cookies. You'll ruin your dinner. Now, you may still eat that cookie that you grabbed, but you definitely stop and think and reconsider. And that's all we're doing here. Awareness and interruption are the beginning to the real change. You'll find yourself spending less time and energy stuck in that negative thought pattern. Just with these two simple steps, awareness and interruption. And you'll naturally have more mental energy for what really matters to you. Then you can begin to implement some healthier mental rhythms to move toward more positive thinking, to replace that negative loop. It's not about over the top, overly optimistic positivity. Your brain knows better, and it will fight it every time. It's more of a reframe to simply help your brain see and seek out the good in every situation. Now, we'll dive deeper into the daily mental rhythms and resets that help you move towards more positive thinking in the next episode. Our brains naturally want to focus on the negative in every situation. And it has you replaying every weird or horrible thing you think you said or did. And then your brain gets stuck there, overthinking and overthinking, until you've expended all the energy you had. It leaves you mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted. Those negative thought patterns are super sticky, and they stay with you for a long time. But you can get relief from the overthinking. Simply pause for a little awareness. Notice when you're starting a negative thought spiral and say to yourself out loud, "That's enough." Just interrupt it for a moment. Eventually, you'll see that the shorter time that you spend in this pattern, the more energy you have for important decisions and focusing on the good things in your life. Your brain was never designed to carry the nonstop tension of the negative thinking loop. And while this is a pattern that's hard to break, it is possible to break free. And you're worth it. And as always, we start with the baby steps and we practice them. 15 minutes a day, day after day, is what will bring you the results. So today, take your daily 15 to check in with your thoughts. What's got you ruminating and replaying? Make note of any situation or words that have you in the negative thought spiral. And that's it. We're not fixing it. We're not heaping on guilt and shame. We're just noticing and becoming aware so that we can interrupt the cycle. Thanks for listening in today. With 15 minutes a day, you're learning new ways to create rhythms. Change the not so good habits and replace them with the ones that help you live the life you want. Negative things happen and negative thinking will follow, but it doesn't have to overwhelm you and leave you spiraling. Using the awareness and interruption tool can help you take the first step in taming your thoughts and regaining some focus. You can take control of your brain and help it work better for you. And on Thursday, I'll be sharing ways to make this practice part of your daily rhythm and take the next step toward more positive thinking. So don't miss it. Did all this talk about overthinking leave you feeling overwhelmed? If you want to go deeper to get relief from the negative thinking spiral, maybe the reset and refresh call is the right next step for you. It's a free 30-minute coaching call where we can review what's getting you stuck in the mental spiral and create a real strategy to help you get clear. If this is your time to go a little deeper and find a new rhythm that helps you keep your energy and focus, I'll drop the link below in the show notes to schedule your call. While listening today, did you think of a friend that could use some help with overthinking and that negative thought spiral? Make sure to share this episode with her so she can get the relief she needs and start to feel clear and focused again. I want you to know your brain's not broken. It's just overwhelmed. But you're building awareness and interrupting the cycle. We're in this together. And together we're creating margin for what matters most in just 15 minutes a day.